I've talked about the first stage of enlightenment, Sotapanna, or stream entry, and in this we have dropped the first 3 of 10 fetters: ego, or personality view, doubt, and rites and rituals. Those I discussed in the previous video, so please refer back to this if you require more explanation. Now, in the second stage of enlightenment, we will start to erode, not fully eradicate, but erode the first two of the 5 hindrances to meditation. And they are also the 5 hindrances that affect our everyday lives: of sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, or laziness, restlessness and worry, and doubt. They are the and only 5 obstacles to our meditation, and what keeps us from becoming mindful in our everyday lives. And in the second stage of enlightenment, Sakadagami, or once returner, if you remember, we're entering the stream enterer, to go to an island, let's say, figuratively speaking. Once returner, Sakadagami, the second stage of enlightenment, is we would get to the island and we would return the once. So, these are metaphors, of course. But meaningfully, what it's suggesting is we get a glimpse, an experience of freedom from suffering in this lifetime. Just a glimpse, an experience, which is enough, because once we have glimpsed and experienced, however briefly, freedom from suffering, it cannot be unexperienced, unseen, unglimpsed. It is there. So we have this overwhelming determination to return to this state of well-being. So in this second stage of enlightenment, we reduce the first and second of those 5 hindrances of sensual desire and ill will. Now, they don't go completely. We still have desire for things, a cup of coffee, something nice to eat, some entertainment, or the desire not to have things. And this is what moves into the second, which is ill will, our disliking or not wanting something. Can be translated or described as hatred. But hatred is a very strong emotion and is covered by ill will. But we're often more affected by simply not wanting to be here, not wanting to be doing this. Maybe some pain has arisen and we are not wanting this pain to be there. This is a desire not to want. So we either desire to have something we have not got, or we desire not to have something we have got. Okay. The second stage of enlightenment is just that. Those 2 fetters, as we call them, there are 10 in total. The first 3 being, as I've just previously mentioned, ego, doubt, and rites and rituals. The next 2 are sensual desire and ill will. When we move into the third stage of enlightenment, this is called Anagami. Anagami means non-returner. We get to this island, experience freedom from suffering, if you like, and we will not return. Because there, and only at this stage, the sensual desire fetter the ill will fetter is eradicated completely. So in the second stage of enlightenment, they are eroded, reduced. But by the third stage of enlightenment, they are gone completely. So, Anagami, non-returner, by this stage, the first 5 fetters of ego, doubt, rites and rituals, sensual desire and ill will are gone. This doesn't mean you're a fully enlightened being, but those hindrances, those fetters meaning ties to samsara, ties to this existence, the ties that continually bring us back in rebirth, whether it's figuratively speaking in each and every moment, or in the actual rebirth in future lives, if you believe in that. It doesn't matter. In each and every moment we are reborn as a result of these 5 fetters. This is why we repeat mistakes, and also why we repeat the good things we do. It is the very nature of fetters that cause repetition in this life and into further lives. So, the 4th stage of enlightenment is a fully enlightened being, an arahant. And only at this stage does one drop, lose, eradicate, no longer have the other 5 fetters. They will be gone also. So consequently they are also the hardest for anyone, even a non-returner, Anagami, someone who has attained to the 3rd stage of enlightenment. These are the desire, if you like, but belief, let's say, belief and desire of a material rebirth. In a way, this can be looked at in both ways also. Material rebirth as in being reborn in the animal world, in the human world, but having this opportunity again. It is this belief that we are reborn. But this can be within this lifetime. So it is the belief that, the understanding that, or the desire that this body, this physical, material existence of ours continues. This is the 6th fetter. The 7th is immaterial rebirth, that there is some personality, spirit that goes on and is you. Well, of course, you've lost this view in the 1st stage of enlightenment from losing, eradicating Sakkaya Ditthi, personality view or ego. So partly this has been eroded, but in the 4th stage of enlightenment it is likewise gone. That is the 7th fetter. The final 3 are conceit, restlessness and ignorance. Now, let's deal with the last one, ignorance. Of course, when you are a fully enlightened being, you have experienced Nibbana. So everything else prior to this is clearly understood. There can be no ignorance. And only arahants, enlightened beings, are able to fully understand this, and this is because they have experienced this freedom from ignorance and freedom from suffering in this lifetime. 8 and 9, conceit and restlessness, are simply that. as an enlightened being, conceit, so the belief that your achievements, your attainments are yours, as opposed to a realization of what was already there, so bringing back into this personality view, Sakkaya Ditthi, which is why it's so important to eradicate that in the first stage of enlightenment. You're bringing in conceit. And restlessness is that overwhelming desire to be doing something about anything. This is gone. But I've skipped right over these three rather than the detailed discussion on the first stage of enlightenment, because it is really the first stage of enlightenment that most people are trying to attain to in order to become free from suffering in this lifetime. And it does require a determined effort. But it's not hard work, it can be enjoyable. It is about simply understanding the Four Noble Truths and practicing the Noble Eightfold Path. And the Noble Eightfold Path is really quite simple. Sila, so good behaviour, moral virtue. Samadhi, so meditation, regular meditation. And Panya, wisdom. Developing our minds. Not acquired knowledge, not learning information from books. Developing our wisdom through experience. And this can only be done through meditation and looking inside, not outside, into this body and into this mind to understand the nature and the faculties of existence. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. That everything is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and out of our control. This is enlightenment. Quite simply, to be free from suffering in this lifetime. You can believe whatever you like. That's up to you. But you can experience and see the truth for yourself in the here and now through your practice of meditation, backed up by sila, or moral virtue, and good behaviour. I'll leave it at this for your contemplation, and if it's useful, please use it. If it's not, you can just ignore it. If you feel you can share this with others, please do. This is a very wholesome way of giving the Dharma, giving this opportunity to others is one of the greatest gifts you can do. So please share this video if you like, and subscribe for your own benefit to receive future videos from this channel. Namo Buddhaya.